example, फिर बाहर आई, खुदा की बात फिर पूरी हुई. Now the whole style of the language bears repetition and denotes repetition. So such prophecies go on repeating. And certain prophecies again which are conditional, and the conditions have been mentioned. Whenever those conditions will be in existence, whenever those conditions appear, the prophecy will take charge and it will begin to be fulfilled. For example, there is a promise to Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "Inni muhinun man arada ihanata, wa inni muhinun man arada ayanata." That I am going to muhinun man arada ihanata. Disgrace. No, I'm thinking of muhin. Muhin is not a verb, it is a name. What do you call it? Ism file है ना मुनीर? Ism file. How is it translated into English? I'm thinking of the counterpart of ism file in English which I don't know. So this is, I'm pointing this out particularly because when a prophecy is made in verbal form, this will happen. That may occur once and then finish. But when ism file is used instead, that indicates a constant state. Inni muhinun is different, inni muhino is quite different. Inni muhino may mean that I will put to disgrace just once. But when Allah says inni muhinun, that means that it is my, almost like saying it's my attribute. Whenever a thing occurs, then I behave like this. So muhinun means I am the one who puts to disgrace, brings to disgrace. So this is the style which shows that there is a sense of repetition, a connotation of repetition in such predictions or prophecies. So the full meaning is that I am the one who causes to be disgraced whoever attempts to disgrace you, and I am the one who comes to the aid of those who come to thy aid. That is the full meaning. So the style of the prophecy itself is telltale. There is a sense of repetition, and you can read in that prophecy from the style that prophecy is carried, that it is a repetitive prophecy and not to be fulfilled.
There were certain prophecies about the earthquakes or about the plague town, and then you come and you see that after 1906 or 7, these prophecies are repeated again. So does that mean that the one prophecy which has been already fulfilled in the time of Hazrat Masih Islam, and then as for I myself was reading through it, I feel that there is a chance of the plague again and also. Yes, sir. So could you please?
In fact, I wrote an essay on this very subject about 12 years or so ago, and that was published in Al-Furqan when Hazrat Maulana Sahib was alive at that time, and when he was the editor and the proprietor, of course, of Al-Furqan. So he asked me to write something on any subject, so I chose this plague. And my approach was this, that I went into the history of plague to understand the phenomena, because Hazrat Masih Islam had laid great stress on this fact that this plague is not just like any other ordinary disease. It has been particularly chosen by Allah to punish the transgressors plague, I was wonderstruck by the fact that plague had also appeared in the time of the first Messiah. And when I pursued the history of plague from then onward, I was again surprised by apparently coincidences, but they were not coincidences, they were decreed things. That the plague, first time it struck only that small area where Christ appeared and he was refused and then he was persecuted. So it was a limited strike of plague only to that area where atrocity had been committed against Jesus Christ, peace be upon him. And after a while it disappeared, and then it reappeared after exactly 100 years from that time. And when it reappeared, its sphere was much wider, but not wider than the world of Christianity. Wherever Christianity had been persecuted, plague appeared, and it covered a part of Roman Empire in the second coming. Third time it came after an absence of a few hundred years, at the time of just before Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam, peace be upon him. And then the plague came not to help the Christians but to punish the Christians. And this area was extended right up to Mesopotamia. And the whole Christendom suffered from this plague, and that was a warning that we have not been only destroyed spiritually, but you have been rejected now totally. The same sign which came to aid you, to help you, has now come to punish you. And that was the interesting thing about plague, that it spread along the Christendom and left Arabia alone. Just bypassed it. Through Syria, it went further east, and it did not travel down to Mecca or Medina. So fourth time the plague appeared was exactly 1400 years from Jesus Christ. And this time it came to Europe, and mainly it struck Europe. And the whole Christendom was stricken very terribly with this plague. This is called in the history of Europe as Black Death. It is known as Black Death. So this plague played havoc with European life, European cities and states, to the extent that in some places 25% people died of plague, in some places 50% people. I'm talking about the figures of the countries, and 50% of the whole population was wiped out with plague. It was so terrible. And the Christians, to prove that Allah has not been unjust, behaved so cruelly to Jews that they proved the fact that now they had taken the part of the Jews and they had become hard-hearted like Jews, and said they deserved the same punishment which was meted out to Jews once. They burned thousands of Jews alive, blaming them for this plague. And in some countries, some European countries, as many as 7,000 Jews are recorded to have been burnt alive in their houses. For the crime they had not committed, they said, because you are bad people, so plague has come. And by that act they were proving quite the contrary. They were proving that we are the bad people, the plague has come to punish us. So plague has a very special relationship, not only with religion, but the idea of Messiahhood. That is what is important. It does not come to the aid of other prophets normally in history, nor does it come to punish those who oppose other prophets, but only it has a special relationship with Messiah. This is why